What's up, Rockstars? Today I get to finally unbox it. It's real, it's right there. Darkest Dungeon, the board game. Let's dive in, super detailed. Alright, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. Just through their financial support that this channel is possible. We appreciate the videos I make every single week for you guys, and you can give even $1 a month. There's a link down in the description below. Thank you so much. And if you're wondering, well, why would I give $1? First of all, it's hopefully not too much, though I know not everybody's going to. But I actually bought this game, so I guess consider that. I'm right there with you guys. I paid the extra shipping. I did all of that. So, well, I might have been prioritized in when I get it, so I can show you guys I did pay for this, and that is thanks to my patrons. So this video really and truly is because of them. All right, now let's go ahead and open it up. See what's going on. So we got the styrofoam, we got all the boxes here. Let's go ahead and move this a little to the side, just a little, so I can open it up all the way. There we go. Take some of the styrofoam out. I'm gonna be seeing this for styrofoam. I hate styrofoam. Like I appreciate. Oh, look at that one, man. That's why the styrofoam's there, huh? My goodness, whole chunk of it got out. Oh, I'll throw that on the ground, and we'll get this. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. It's heavy, guys. Wow. Okay, it's also upside down. I'm opening it up upside down, apparently. Oh, there you go. Oh, whew. There's one. Okay. Here is two. And all right. Oh. Okay. And let's go get this box out of the way and get situated. Alright, here is the main box, and against this Darkest Dungeon, and then the thing they added here was the board game, and it is quite dark, but it does have that nice red glow. Very much looks like the the video game, of which I have played quite a bit of, and I rage quit every time I play. Like at some point, I was like, oh, it's not even so much that the game isn't fun. The game is a blast. I love it. It's kind of a grind. Like, it's very much a roguelike that you play a ton through, not just a little bit, because you'll like reset to pretty much level 1 characters, and you just kind of like slog through it a little bit. Kind of annoying. If you are new to the channel, I do some unboxings a little weird. I'm pretty detail oriented. We're gonna be measuring things. It should be a lot of fun for me anyway. Let's go ahead and get the little royal scepter in here and take a look. So, obviously in the front, going back over there, because we're probably not going to look at it again. I'm going to take it off. Very, very nice design, right? It has a little bit of a logo here, a little bit of a logo here, the little words here, and then the logo, and then just most of it is here. So while I think this is still definitely how it'll look like retail, assuming it comes to retail, this very much, I think, is a very nice looking box. There's not a whole lot of fluff here. It's just really focused on that. And notice it doesn't even like tell you anything. It just kind of it sets the theme. It sets the mood, which I really appreciate. I think that's it's kind of nice. It's not giving away a whole lot here. And on the sides, you can see you just get the big old logo on the sides, which is fun. On the back here, we get a little bit about it, and then a whole display of the game. I really appreciate that, much more than just miniatures. You see some of the miniatures, obviously, but you see kind of the game. And then you have a little bit of a list of components, and then a few things here. This is cool. Protect your cards with our sleeves line, Mythic Protectors, and it shows exactly kind of what you need to sleeve this. That's kind of neat. I dig that. I didn't know they had a Mythic Protectors. I've gotten, like, my Super Fantasy Brawl is protected by them, but like, it has their sleeves. But I didn't realize it was necessarily probably a rebrand, I would assume. But either way, this is cool. And then it has very, very tight wrapping. There's like no give on here at all. So it's going to be a little bit tricksy here. I think I mean, see, that's like, I mean, so normally you get like this little fluff at the end, but this is like sealed tight. There's like not a gap there. There's a little bit of a dent there, I see. Not a, oh man, okay, all right. So there's a little bit of a hole here. I'm going to slide in there and then stab myself. All right, and now we're going to put the knife away. Put the knife away. I think we got this. So right off the bat, this is fairly standard plastic, I would say. I don't think it's really too flimsy, too thick. It's just right. It's normal, I guess. I think thicker is fine too, I assume. But at some point, you're getting diminishing returns. Okay, so now that we have that off, we can see it's actually kind of a very matte look. Like there's no like UV lights or anything like that. It's very drab. I think that's on purpose. A little bit of a fuzz around there. There is some like odd discoloration. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Just a little bit of like a scuff mark here, for instance. And I just opened this. I mean, you guys saw. So anyway, a little bit of a ding here. You know, again, this is from shipping. So if you get this retail, it won't matter. And you know, I can't promise that it's shipped the same way when it's early like this compared to others. It probably didn't go on the boat like with everybody else's. So now on the inside, not black. I would have liked it with how Darkest Dungeon the theme is. Oh, there's a little hell thing here. That'll be interesting. You would think they would have put black in here, and I know it's not a whole lot. Now, every little bit counts, of course, but it would have been kind of nice to get this inside black as well, just to really seal the deal. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Not have my knife rolling around everywhere. I'll turn this on. Okay, it's all zeroed out. Loosen it up a little bit, and see how thick this cardboard is. Looks like we're at around 2.88. It's kind of what I'm seeing there. 2.9, somewhere around there, probably 2.88. So that's about how thick it is. Not quite 3 millimeters. Zero that out. Okay. Glue job looks quite good. I really enjoy that. It's nice and not quite lined up perfectly. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of a gap there, tiny little bit. There's a little bit of a lift. Not terrible. Overall, I think everything else is pretty lined up. Just that little bit there. Yeah, it's good. I dig it. All right, moving on from that. Moving on from the inside glue job of a box. First things first in Darkest Dungeon, an advertisement for hell. I am actually all for advertisements. I kind of like looking through them, even when it's like Fantasy Flight games or something like that. I think it's kind of fun. We're going to go ahead and... we're not going to zoom in on this. I think it's fine. You guys can see this. Okay, so this is Hell the Last Saga. It's been long in the making. I think it went to Kickstarter probably a little bit too early. When it comes to how much development they still need to do, especially for the writing. It's a very narrative game. They had the same issue with Solomon Kane, that they definitely needed to kind of like really pin down the mechanics with the rule set and have those work with each other. A Dawn of Madness is delayed for the exact same reason. It happens quite often. It's really unfortunate, but it looks super cool. I mean, that is just an awesome advertisement. So I really do dig that. Looks like it might be available on the eShop. And then here we have Six Siege, the board game. This game is fantastic, guys. It's a lot of fun. It really is. So yeah, definitely interested in that. Yeah, it's a really fun skirmish game. I enjoyed that one immensely. I've not played Hell, so couldn't tell you on that one. But the Six Siege one was a blast. Okay, we're going to put that way over there and get back to here. Important note. Well, let's see what's so important. Oh, moving on back. All right, important note. Sometimes your pledge isn't perfect. For the most part, I've actually had pretty good luck. While we have prepared your pledge to the highest standards, we realize that as with every process, errors can be made, items can be left out, and damages can occur in transit. I don't believe they've put one of these in the unboxing before. If your pledge contains bent or broken miniatures, damaged boxes, or after double checking you are sure you are missing items or components, then please reach out to our support team. If it's bent minis, you can fix that very easily. Just with some hot water and some ice water. You put it in the hot water, and that makes the plastic pliable. You bend it to the right shape, and then you quickly dunk it into the ice water. It'll fix itself. It's super easy to fix bent minis. Broken miniatures, yeah, gluing them is no fun. I can kind of understand that. And damaged boxes, that's the most expensive thing to replace. It's extremely expensive. Good luck getting a replacement on that. Hopefully that doesn't happen. If your shipping address was within Europe, then please reach out to our European distribution hub at the following web address. So it looks like Meeple Logistics is actually helping out in Europe with replacements and stuff. That's interesting. Maybe because they're in Europe too. For all other global customers, you can reach them at support@thegames.net. And then Dear Backer. I'm not going to read all this. I'll let you go ahead and read that. You can. Here, I'll make it nice and big for you guys. Go ahead and pause that. Here, try to read it now, huh? Yeah, it's hard mode. All right. Moving on from that, I'll read that afterwards. I'm not gonna bore you guys with it. So, right up front, we got like, this is almost filled to the brim. You see this? I mean, it is literally exact. Now, once this is punched out, assuming it goes back in storage, I see some spacers here, so it'll be interesting to see how this works. Assuming these go somewhere, there might be a little bit of a gap at the end. But let's go ahead and open these up. We're just gonna go in each little piece. This is wrapped. They do this to make packing easier. So for the picking and packing portion of everything, where they put everything together, because you're not missing one, because they're not just grabbing 3 and hoping they grab 3 every single time for 6,000 orders or whatever. I'm sure. Actually, I believe they sold more than that on this one. Instead, you get one of these, and each one of these has 3 in it. It makes the logistics around it much easier. So anytime you see something like this, you should actually be more confident that they got everything right. 'Cause that's the whole idea. And it's not to say it couldn't be wrong, but ideally the percentage of wrong is like 1%, right? And so it's the difference between 1% and 8% or some junk like that. Come on. All right. Come on. Oh dear Lord, guys. Okay. All right. Oh, whew. This is thinner than this. It feels, maybe it's not. No, I think it's about the same. It's just smaller. It's a lot smaller. I had the other one crumpled because the other one, I cut and it was just like, yeah, I'm going to split. And this one's you would think I've done enough unboxings by now that I'd be able to do it. Nope, I struggle. Okay, these are not standees, by the way. We got minis, don't worry. This is Mythic Games we're talking about. They love their minis. Okay, so right off the bat, let's go ahead and see how thick this cardboard is. Okay, so I'm seeing about 2.25. That's about how thick that is. You can compare that. I just recently did this for Ether Fields, and so you could check that for the Wave 2 of Ether Fields as well. These are fun little shapes, by the way. So it looks like they're punching out quite nice. Let's see if I can... Nope, I can't really get any tags. Let's do it in the reverse. Okay, so it's not double-sided, though I don't think that really matters on this. So punching on here, it's a lot more awkward, but I don't see any kind of... here, this has a little tiny thing in there, so let's push it right up there, and it looks totally fine. So, oh geez, they're gonna fall out now. So, zoom in on these, see what we're looking at. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so first of all, this is quite smooth all around, so I do appreciate that. It feels smooth, which a lot of times, sometimes you'll get some roughness from the cut, but this is quite nice. Very, very stiff, actually, quite sturdy. That is solid. And you can kind of see even here, the lines, not the mold lines, the layers are slightly visible. They normally are. And then you have that kind of outside layer that's a little bit stronger. So you'll see it looks kind of like a little white strip. And then, you have the actual, image here. It is bent on the front. It normally is. And I don't see any peeling on there. Let's go in reverse here. See if I can't get any peel or anything like that. I'm not really seeing anything. There is a little bit right there. So I did get a little bit there. It's not as much of an issue when they're not double-sided tokens, obviously. But we'll have tokens. So I imagine they'll do the same thing. So on the back, you will get a little bit of that. And that's pretty normal because it's a straight cut. So, but on here, you're not going to see anything. So the reason I do that is so that you can see, hey, when I play this 20 times, how's it going to look, right? And it's going to look pretty much like this. Now, if you flip it over, you might see a little bit of roughness, right? You can see the crispness there versus not there now, right? You'll see that on the back, but on the front where you're looking, I think you'll be fine. Readability. Text is small. It would have been nice, I think, to make it a little bit larger. We got some grandpas playing out there. Shout out to, if you're a grandpa, thumbs up the video. I just got like 300 thumbs up, guys. That's amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. But no, seriously, like eyesight is, hit or miss for a lot of us. My wife wears like these contacts are like at like a 3 now, and it's just going to get worse. So, I mean, like, you got to make things very readable, especially when it's really dark like this. I do like the text color. I think that pops out really well. The icon might get a little washed out because, again, remember, like right now I have this like heavy duty lighting on this, and you're looking at it pretty close. But when it's like on a table and a dimly lit game room board, it'll be kind of iffy, especially like this. It's like 1 here and the little symbols there, and these little tiny. Look at this. I can barely see that. 8 of whatever the heck that is. I have no idea. What is this? You tell me. Comment down below. What is this? And if you said a rock dragon egg shape, you're probably right, because God only knows. So yeah, too small on there. And that's an arrow. Like, I can't unsee that. Is that supposed to be an arrow there? It looks like an arrow. It's an arrow. So this will fit like in a certain way. I think like that kind of thing. And then there'll be one that, fits in here or whatever. So it'll form a whole thing, which is pretty darn cool. And as you can see, there's a level 2, a level 3. I'm assuming there's a level 1, probably on the map itself. So you lay these over it to kind of build up your town, which is actually a lot of fun. But I do wish pretty much all the text was bigger. I understand not wanting to cover up a whole lot, but at the same time, it's got to be usable, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. These are like going everywhere. I'm going to set this down here. I'm just going to make a mess. How about that? There we go. That's a mess. Okay, we got a big board here, so let's... Bloop, that came out fine. What about this? Look at this. It's got like little notches in here and stuff. Boom. Oh, there's a tag. We got a hanger. We got the dingleberry of tokens here. And then we have these different sizes. We got a square one. Looks good. Here's some more kind of fun edges here. It looks to me like they did the fun edges for funsies. Now, I do see the tags here. They're very white, right? And so you do kind of see that right there on the front. That is a little unfortunate because that's fairly noticeable, though pretty common when you have this this darkness here. I think a way to solve that a little bit would have to make this, instead of white, dark, right, to match everything. But until then, you got that little bit of white still there. So I think that's kind of the issue there. I think if this had been black, that would have helped a little bit. Or if it has, you see how it has like a ring around this? Like, here's the line. I think that would have helped too. I don't think... No, it did. It did. This had a ring around it, so it's not that. But see how these little weird funky shapes here? I don't think that actually, matters. It's just kind of interesting and different and not uniform, which is cool. I dig it. This is your torch level or your light level, where if it's bad things happen. If it's good things happen. And you can see there are, it looks like 2 different versions, perhaps. 43210, 43210. Or I'm not seeing really any difference at all. So it looks like it's just double-sided. Okay, that's fine. Okay, here's where your hero, this is where these go, right? And that's your order, where, who acts first, essentially. So that's that right there. And these symbols help out in the game on where you're placed and stuff like that. Okay, here's this jerk. He's going to be going around drinking, taking up spots in your town. We got some health tokens here. They are double-sided. They look fairly centered, so that's good. I'm not seeing any weird kind of spacing. It's an irregular shape, mind, but it looks good. And again, like, there's not a whole lot of squish, not a whole lot of squeeze, not a whole lot of give when I'm pushing on this. Very, very solid. I like these a lot. On this actually looks great. I love the brightness of this. It's that highlight there really helps you see everything. So I dig that. On the back, it's definitely rougher. You can see that little bit of a peel on the back. That's fairly normal, by the way. Like, it's very abnormal to not get that. And then we have some of the guys. We have the Crusader. We have that. We got the Hellion, the Bounty Hunter, the Plague Doctor, the Jester, Vestal, Highwayman, Grave Robber, Occultist, Abomination, and Arbalest. I loved my Occultist. I was rocking him for a while. I had him mixed with the Hellion and the Plague Doctor, and I think the Arbalest, I believe, was a group I was running for quite some time. That was a fun one. Though, I mean, they're all fun. They're all fun. He's got a puppy. Sadly, the puppy's not there. It's going to punch one out. Oh my gosh, it just falls right out. Of course it does. Reversible. So that works too. And it looks like he's going to be facing to the right no matter what. So it's not like that's the back side of him, if that makes sense. It'll work either way. But you'll want it like that, right? And then you have to put it on like so. Okay? So there's that. Those look good. We got a few little tiny things there. They're punching out just fine. You're fine. You're good to go. That's all the punch board that I see. I think next, way over here is the game board pieces. So let's take a look at those. All right. So this is how far we've made it so far, guys. Notice, again, very flush. Like, this is, like, exact. So it does have little notches here to be able to grab things. Oh, geez, there's a lot here. Wow. Okay. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff down there. We'll take a look at that. Take a look at that. Oof. There's some maps, because I believe, yep, it's double. All of these are double-sided. Now, it looks like there's a little bit of a curve. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. I got to open them up first. Okay. Now, these maps are probably the biggest difference between the board game and the video game, because the video game's, single player, obviously, and so you're controlling the whole thing, whereas the board game, you got 4 people, each controlling one, so it had to change a little bit. I love what they did with this, though. It still feels very thematic with, the who's in front and stuff like that, so it does have a lot of that, but it kind of puts it into a 3D space, I think, in a really interesting way. So you still get the combat stuff of who's in front, how far can you attack, stuff like that, while still moving around too. And they like to split the party up a lot as well. Notice there are different kind of starting locations, right? Like here and here. So you'll kind of group up and then have to kind of meet and stuff like that. Okay, so before we look at the art and stuff, there is the kind of tab right there, but it's very, very small. Let's go ahead and take just one. And we're going to put it over here, flipped the other way. So if there is, oh, look at that. That actually isn't too bad. There's maybe a slight gap there, but it's not. It's not a whole lot. I think I was mistaken on the, yeah, there's a little bit of a curve. There's a little bit, but it's not too bad. Okay, let's do these 3. Kind of see what we see here. A little bit of a gap, right? So these are curved this way, that's curving that way a little bit, and that gives you a little bit of a space. But honestly, not actually terrible at all. So that's good. There is, because it was tightly wrapped, it was a very tight wrap, a little bit of a bend on the corners here. Let me try and show you that. So if you see here, there's an ever so slight kind of bend right there. Right there. There's a little bit of a bend there. So that, but I mean, yeah, these are solid. They feel really good. They feel really smooth. Really, really do. They're a little bit more bendy, right? They're quite large. I believe they are the same size. We'll see. Or yeah, what was it? 225 was the tokens. Right now I'm seeing like 230. We're gonna say it's probably about the same. 222, 220. Just kind of depends on how much I squeeze it, really. Either way, about just as thick, which makes sense. But sometimes tokens will be skinnier, so they're not. They're about the same size. Maybe a little bit smaller though. I wasn't getting 225, that's for sure. Either way, these look nice. Let's take a quick gander at the front and back. It looks like the front and backs are totally different. We're gonna actually zoom out slightly. There you go. Like these are obviously very different areas, right? I imagine this one is the same, or it's gonna be a very different area. Nope. Okay, so it just kind of depends. Oh, there's a little bit of outside there. That's fun. Just depends on kind of where you're at. This looks like a little bit of a different area. There's less color there. Ooh, man, I want to go there. That's where you want to be. And there are different symbols here based off how many people can be in it, and a few other things that you can kind of take a look at. Different symbols depending again on kind of where you're at. But yeah, I mean these look fun. There's definitely a variety, and the color shifts a lot, right? Like each place kind of has a feel based off the color, which I can appreciate. I dig that. And obviously not to scale to your heroes too. Look at that one. That's a fun one. Gross. Okay, so there's all of those. All right. Now here we are. Hello. Okay, now here we are with this, and this is one piece that just sits right there. So I want to go and keep that. Might need that. Might not. Looks like a lot of this is going to be kind of loose here. There's another separator right here. Let's see what's in this grab bag. We got some cards and some dice and stuff like that. That just ripped. If I remember right, there is not really an organizer, which is a super big bummer. We kind of expect that. Yeah, so they're just like trays and stuff. They did throw these in. Oh, this is kind of cool. So baggies are really cheap, guys. Like to add in, just to throw in a few like that, it's actually not that much. These, I guess since I have them, we'll take a look, they have the hole there, so they'll stay flat. They won't puff up. Pros and cons, if you put like minis or something in bags, often you want to like keep a little bit of air in there, but for token stuff you don't want to. And it is kind of labeled, which is kind of fun. So I dig that. That's neat. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and for now put that back in there and go to this mess of stuff. Dear Lord. Okay. I mean, that is all right. I think the rule book is somewhere in here even. This is just a whole bunch of stuff wrapped up. And again, that wrapping up keeps it kind of contained. And again, helps with packing and stuff like that too. So, all right, what do we got here? We got a few boss cards here. Got the perfect reflection. Okay, this is all the boss cards for him. And this is the different things that he can do here. So that's boss 3. Why we're getting boss 3 up here, I don't know. Additional contents. That's weird English to me. It's content. Is that like a British thing? Is this the Queen's English going on here with the contents? I'm not sure. 4 boss cards, just got that. 10 experience and 10 buff tokens. I'm not sure what this is about. Was this an addendum that they packed in here, or what? I don't know. I don't know what this is or why it's labeled like this. Okay, here is the bad version, right? So red instead of green, I think, or yellow is the other one. I'm not sure what the difference is there. There's the main board, right? So this is where you'll overlay, right, and get the Abbey 2, Abbey 3, stuff like that. So that's fun. Looks like that probably fits right in there. Look at that. Sort of, kind of. All right, we'll figure that out later. Okay, here's those tokens. I'm not going to bother punching them out. They look to be the same. Again, I don't know why they're extra here like this. Snort. What the heck? Why? I love this. That's awesome. That's great. Oh, man. That's good. That's some good original art here. Look at this. Love this. Look how fat this is, guys. This, again, it doesn't... To make this versus one that just gives like 3 sheets or 1 sheet that you can copy or whatever junk, it's not that expensive. This is actually quite nice, too. Like, it feels good. It's nice and bright. It looks like it has room for everything here. Hero name and level, so you get to kind of save each time where you are in the discarded quest, active boss, campaign, your building levels, waiting heroes, and stuff like that. And again, you get a whole bunch of these, and I'm sure you can download them as well. Do appreciate that. I like that. Okay, here we have, look, so why does, okay, never mind. All right, well, let's see. Let's see what all this is. Ugh, come on, baby. You can do it. I'm going to have to break it, guys. It's going to have to happen. I don't think it's going to slide down. Not on its own free will. Oh, alright. Well, dead now. Okay, so we got boss 3. Lots of boss 3. Wow, okay. Boss 2. And then whatever like those 2 are. I don't know. Anyway, I guess let's take a look. Alright, I don't recall the enemy cards being this big when I played. We got the Bone Captain. We got the Brigand Bloodlure, the Ghoul, the Adder, Prophet, multiple Prophets, probably different levels of them. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. So a whole bunch of really cool enemies there. Then we have some really bad guys here. Like not good at all. This is some bad stuff here. So that's fun. So there is all your enemies. We've got our heroes here. Look at that. See, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Got your Crusader. And again, level 1 and level 2, level 3, and that's it. So this is all of them, and they have all their stuff on here. Your different like abilities, like your health and your movement. It can be 1 or 2 on there. I've never seen a 3. And I forget what your dodge. This is your dodge here. You have a potion here. You have your resistances and immunities, and then a little special skill here for your rest action as well. You have other skill cards. We'll look at those when we get to them. When we get to them. Oh, okay. You know what? You guys can do other things besides watch me struggle. Okay, here is, looks like some more bad guys. We got the Abomination, the Abalist. Oh, okay, this is just a different, what is this? Let's go to the Crusader again. Oh, I guess there's different heals and stuff like that. I don't know what version of the card this is. 32 health, which is a whole lot of health. 1 movement. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like 1 dodge. I don't know what I'm looking at there. More cards. That's the transformed Abomination. See, the front and back on that. Okay, well, we'll just put that over there. That's what we'll do. Take a look at these. This is cardboard here, and again, it's not going to move. It's not going to budge. There we go. All right. These are your cards that you have. On the back is that just that cool torch symbol, where you put your cards. So at level 1 you get these. At level 2 you gain 1, and then at level 3 you gain a 3rd one. And then you can have your like poison, and then you can have your pros and cons. I forget what they're called here. And then your stress meter here. And then you can mark it, and then go get a 2nd time, and then you die. So you'll start out with these 3, and then you'll kind of expand more later. So that goes with your kind of hero card to let you kind of track everything. Now here we have the dungeons themselves, like the layout that you'll be going through. Again, just like the video game, where you'll have your curio rooms and stuff like that. But as you can see, before you do, unless you scout, which there is scouting, you're going to go here, and then you got to pick a spot. And you might have a different objective, like, again, just like the video game, like fight 3 guys, or find all the treasure, or whatever. And so you can come here and then scout and see what's around. Otherwise, you're just going to move around and kind of guess where you're going. But there's a whole lot of different layouts that you can do, which is kind of nice. And then, as you can see, different even themes here. Like there's some that are a little bit brighter than others, right? Like that. I don't know what's going on there. Doesn't look good. Okay, so we got that. Now this is a save box. That's interesting. That's made smaller. So again, I'm assuming it's not going to fit back in the box. This is separate. So you can, if you need to save, you can just do this. It looks cool, so I dig that. Make sure I don't break it. Okay, so this just go then like this, and this just tuck in on top, I'm guessing. So then I'm guessing it goes in like that, and then, well, I don't know. like how do you, there, all right, got that. And this would go in like that, like that, like that. Boom. Okay. So this is the box as far as I can tell. It looks cool. I do dig it. It's a little plain, a little kind of odd that I had to build it, but hey, it works. So this is where you would store stuff, I guess. Here, start here before you play a full game. You're not the boss of me. A little bit of a blurb, right? Oh, this is the old road again. When you're first heading there, you're probably going to meet the highwayman. Let's see, you actually get quite a few of the miniatures here. And then you're just going to go through the walkthrough here and learn how to play the game in a kind of a thematic way. Looks like there's quite a few steps there. And then, oh, you actually follow the turn. Like, here's like step by step what it is. And then you kind of get to play there. So then here is the rules. Let's go ahead and, oh, look at that weird puncture mark right there in the middle. That's kind of odd. It's stapled, seamed on there. We got 2 staples by the looks of it. It feels pretty tight. I do like the look of it, minus that dimple. Let's go and check the back. No index on the back. I prefer my index to be on the back if I can help it, because then it's easy to get to. So we do have suggested party compositions. That's interesting to see. Adventuring party, low complexity, medium complexity, high complexity, the dancers. That's cool. I dig that. Yeah, all this credit stuff, like I dig credits. I would prefer these to be in the front of the book so the index can be down here, assuming there's an index. Let's check and make sure. That's important. Is there no index? Mythic Games. Come on. I'm not okay. Come on. Why? Maybe it's in the front. Maybe it's in the front, guys. There's still hope. Hold on. There's not an index. This whole unboxing is like a failure. Okay. So here we have a table of contents. That means that this is based off of the order of the headers. It's just the headers with a single page because the header only appears on one page. The index will be in alphabetical order for easy lookup, and it'll list multiple pages to say where everything was done. So this is not an index yet. But this is fine. I like the colors of the colors used and stuff like that. Leo, you know what I like, and I like indexes. Okay, so no index. That's unfortunate. Hopefully. Now, granted, when I read the rule book, even early on, I was able to follow along very easily, know how to play. It wasn't a game that confused me, so that's good. And it was easy to explain when I played it at Gen Con, too. However, you should have an index. It's not difficult to make an index. Moving on from that, table of contents, or like actual showing the contents like this, I appreciate seeing numbers, names, images. So I do appreciate that. So that's very nice to see. So I know, oh, when you say monster cards, you mean this. Or when you say trinkets, you mean this, as opposed to diseases and whatnot. So that's good to see. The miniatures, that's cool too. They even organize them by heroes, and then the ruins versus common versus darkest dungeon versus PvP mode stuff going on here. PvP mode, that must be what that extra stuff is. I think a lot of this is stretch goals then, maybe, perhaps. Because you had the tray for the red as opposed to the green. Anyway, you can see all the different minis here, and they keep going on even more. And then some miscellaneous stuff. Game overview, I love the headers. The symbols look good, a little bit of art. Bolding, they're using that. Bullet points. We get examples. We get like arrows and stuff. We get a numbered system here. Hopefully there's like some like, oh, hey, on 1 there's this, or yeah, see, here's some more stuff here. It looks like there is instructions on the like examples, so be sure to read. I guess those, don't skip over the pictures. Now here is something interesting. Look, so it's stapled here and here, but do you see that little bit of a separation there? See where it's separated here, right? Because I don't know, like normally I want to say you get 3 staples, not 2. So you get that little bit when you're moving it of lift here. Here, you can see that now, which is just kind of odd, right? So ideally you would get 3 and you get like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, versus 2. And that's why this is filled like end to end. So I'm actually surprised it's that big, but it looks like a lot of it is like some really big examples. The text is big, so I appreciate that. They're not making it small, and they're not shying away from that. And then you get some, like upgrade stuff and whatnot. So, yeah, I would like this. so much more if it had an index. It should have an index. Every rulebook should have an index. If you spent the time to write 43 pages of a rulebook, you have enough time to make an index. And then we got more tokens here. I'm not going to punch these out. They look the exact same as before. There is that weird... That was from me ripping because it was like wrapped and then wrapped again the second time. But yeah, these are all smaller tokens, so it should be fine. That is everything in that fun bag there. So, okay, I'm going to keep this separate because I'll have to be reading the rule book to play it for you guys. But then everything else is now like really loose in here. I'm going to move that over here. But as far as this goes, I think the box isn't going to fit in there. But I think we can put some of this. Let's see. Does it go in there? No, so these do not fit in there. Okay. So I'm assuming like this stuff does then, right? So you got like this and then no. Okay, that doesn't either. Come on, guys. That fits in there. There we go. There we go. I'm assuming these big things don't. I'm assuming these don't. No. But these do. Alright. That's the only thing that fits in there? What is this for? if nothing fits in there. I'm so confused. Okay. So this didn't fit in there, huh? Yeah, it did. Ooh, that's a little tight. Okay. Oh, wait. We do got a few more cards here at least. Okay, so we got these. Put these in there. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's great. And these are even longer. I guess we'll just put them on top of each other like that. I guess. Let's stuff that in there. And then we'll start, I guess, putting on these bigger things. That's what we'll do. And perhaps these, I guess. Let me just angle down. No, those are even larger. But look, guys, I don't know. The box is certainly not the best. Okay. What's interesting, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but there were no minis in here. So that second box is all the minis. Okay, so in here we have some dice. Let's look at the dice, and then we'll look at some of the cards. We're not going to look at every single card. That's obnoxious. We'll look at some of them, though. Move that over there. A lot of dice here. Lots and lots of dice. All right. That's fun. So these dice here are your resource dice. You get 1 per player or 2 per player. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are your 4. And what you do is you roll them, and there you go. That's your rations or whatever. Oh, this is I think actually, is this the trap die? Is that what this is? No, this is that. No, these is them. Yeah, this is like, is it a trap or something like that? These are the rations that you can get. Okay, so in this one, again, you get 2 per. And then you can add more, I'm assuming. But then you get this, and you can get, supplies or a torch or a shovel or a potion. And then the DD, I believe, means you can turn it to whatever you want. So how that works, when you have your dice here, and then the 4 dice here. This is 1 per character, I believe, and this is 1 per character, I believe. But perhaps not. I forget what this is. I believe this is the did you die or not. And the stress. I didn't get that stress. I was super not stressed. I didn't care. I was fine. I was doing great. And then one of those is to roll, kind of like Arena of the Contest, where you get that single roll to see, oh, what number did you get? Is it high enough? Is it the critical? Is it, whatever. And the criticals are fun. That they are. It doesn't look like there is a hole in this bag, so you're going to have to make sure you squeeze it out. Yeah, I don't see a hole. You could always add a hole. You can always add a hole. That's my quote for the video. Okay, so what do we got here? We got some little cards. We got some cards like this. And then we got these like long ones. Got a whole bunch of these. Which are these just... I don't know. we'll take a quick look just to see what kinds of cards there are. But I'm mostly interested in sizes here. And to save time, because, you know, that's what we're all about here in this unboxing video, is saving time. Okay. And there is one more pack here and another pack here, but they're just more small cards. It looks like they're just more like people and items and stuff like that. I'm not super concerned about that. I don't know how those went back in. Let's look at the big ones first. Let's look at a plain one. Well, plain one. I don't know. It doesn't show like anything. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Really bummed about not having like a nice storage tray for all of this. And I hate these types of boxes, because the moment you open them, you've ruined the box and they look like garbage. So right now it looks fine, right? But to open this, like, you have to kind of like start bending it, like right here, it's going to bend, right? Because it's going to hit that lip on the sides, the little tucks on this. So it's going to have to like bend outward. There it is. And now it looks like that, right? And there's no other way to really do it. It just sucks. I don't like them. I actively don't like them. Not as much as I don't like not getting an index, but okay. So let's take a look, I guess. I thought this was scuff marks, but I think that's actually just part of the art. They do look curved to me, so let's go ahead and see. Yes. So now these are curved this way and this way, and you can see that gap right there, and that's from being curved. Now, that's fairly common, especially for tall cards like this. It looks like this is just a whole bunch of enemies, like a ton of them. So you roll that red die or whatever, right? You roll the die to see kind of what they do. So you can see what their options are. Looks like there's one card left in there, but yeah, there's a lot of these cards here. Okay, so I'm assuming, come on, that they are organized based off what's in them. So I'm going to open this one because like there's several kinds, but these two I'm not going to open. I don't know what we would really gain out of that. If you just want to see every single card in there, a picture would have done a lot better than a very long video. Ideally, the video is for commentary, or in my case, kind of almost a component review of the game you spent hundreds of dollars on. Come on, this, I swear. Okay, got it. I'm free. Okay, let's ruin this box. And ruined. Perfect. Good. I feel great opening that. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think I got them all now. Okay, so this looks like some helper things, right? Just to remember a few things. Very easy to read. This is brightened up. It looks great. Really do appreciate that. Even like the green on there and stuff like that. All that looks good. Here's different rooms and kind of what all those do. And again, that looks great. And then we have some like different events or things you can do. Looks like we got some like boss enemy stuff, and then we got some town events as well. Typically, every time you went back to town in the game, a little event would happen, and you'd be like, oh, this terrible thing happened, or oh, this terrible thing happened. And that's pretty much what that is. Actually, you can fit quite a few cards in here. Okay. So there's that. And again, it would have been nice just to have a little tray, right, to put them all in, but you know, whatever. Okay, so then it looks like here you get more of the regular spawns plus some boss stuff. And then here you get more of the boss stuff, and then one of these. It would have been nice to put all the boss together, and then these two. No, I guess I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Okay, moving on. Let's look at some of the regular size cards. We're gonna go big to small. How about that? That's what we're gonna do. And next up is minis, so that'll be super cool. I might do the expansion box first, just to knock it out, because I'm going to spend a lot of time on those minis, I imagine. All right, and again, it does show you kind of what's in there, and the box is already kind of deemed up, as you can see, which is always fun, because I mean these are just cheap little stuff. Got some curio here, and then I don't know what those are, so let's take a look. Oh, these are the different like scenarios you could do, right? You know, different scenario setups. There's a whole bunch of them here. My goodness, a ton. And then you have the different curio that you can kind of come across and have mostly bad things. Sometimes a good thing happen to you. Mostly bad, though. There is no, benefit of doing anything in this game. Like, it's all bad. It's all bad. Okay, and I think I'm going to say this is the bigger box, so we'll do this one. How about that? I still wish they would have done a narrator app where you could like just press a button depending on what happened, like just press a button, say critical or person stressed or something like that. So you could, and it would randomize his audio. If there's a website that does that, do let me know. Oh man, see, this is gonna be this. Oh God, I might rip this. This is seriously. I hate these boxes, guys. I mean, yeah, awesome. That is such a great experience. Ugh, kills me. Not as bad as like taking a brand new dollar and then crumpling it up. I can't do that, but some people do because they're monsters, but don't like that. Okay, so this is quite the stack here. And it looks like you just get a whole bunch of things. These are all the skills. If I flip this over, yes, looks like it is. So all the different skills with the different upgrades and what you do, and you can see the range and what you get if you do a critical, and then the accuracy, how much that is, and then the damage that you do, either 8 or 12, and then a +5 versus any marked people there, right? So you have all this different stuff on here. You know, you can do a self push and all this kind of stuff and pulls. So a lot of different skills, like a lot. And that's just these guys. There's more in here, right? So a lot of skills, a lot of leveling up, a lot of upgrades to do, just like the video game. And I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to, just keep getting more and more powerful. And not feeling like I'm surviving barely at all because Darkest Dungeon is mean. All right, let's look at these. And then that is it for this whole box, guys. You guys are troopers. Good for you. If you've been here since the start, you didn't skip around, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this, especially some of the stuff like these little tuck boxes and, some of the changes that they did, right? The lack of a, gosh, it's already been here. Guys, I hate these so much. Come on. Okay, there we go. Lack of a storage tray, right, and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm not, there's one card in there, I don't care. Whole lot of different variety of stuff, good, bad, and then the initiative. Yeah, so the initiative kind of changes each time too, which is kind of interesting. Okay, oh, it looks like you have your different, oh, hey, what could happen when you get stressed? And then you have different initiatives depending on if it's the heroes or the bad guys. And again, they go in the order that they are at, front to back. And then you have all the different things that can happen to you. All of them bad. All of them bad. Okay, I do want to put this in the right order, though. So it looks like this goes like this. Okay, all right, cool. That's all the cards, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into the miniature box. I'm not going to pain you in putting this back together. We'll just swing right to it. All right, guys, I vote we go ahead and knock out a whole expansion, and then we'll just end on a whole bunch of minis. So there are going to be minis in here that we'll probably look at as well. Let's go ahead and flip it over. It does pass the test on being right side up when I flip it over, and in the same general layout. Little blurb, you got the note, and you got the kind of the game there. So let's go ahead and dive in. This is a expansion for the Crimson Court, which is super cool. It adds 6 new decadent double-sided room tiles, including all the associated cards. The brackish murk of the courtyard is teeming with 41 new monster miniatures, including 21 unique monster sculpts and 4 new bosses, the most in any available expansion. There is a lot in here. These are not small expansions, if that makes sense. They're not small at all. I don't know if Mythic Games knows how to do small things. I know they do. They had a little tiny retail game that they were going to do. Okay, and again, you get a little bit of dustiness on there, and then some scuff marks and whatnot. Definitely not the most impressive texture on the game board I've gotten. Okay, so right up here, we got the little welcome thing with, hey, here's what you're getting. we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Let's go ahead. So we did. So same kind of design here. We do have the other stuff. We do have minis, so that'll be fun. But first, let's go and take a look at the kinds of places you're going here. And again, I appreciate the variety. I really do. You don't get a lot of it in the video game very quickly. You're often kind of running the same thing for quite some time, ideally until you beat the boss, but sometimes you're like, oh crap, okay, I gotta swap and go do another area for a little bit or something like that, or you're trying to get specific things out of each one, or whatever you're doing. Okay, alright, so right off the bat, I mean, there's a lot more color here, right, because you're outside, and it barely even looks like it's nighttime, actually. I mean, I wouldn't say it's cheery by any means, because it's not. But it is really different. It looks like it's all just this area. So just this kind of fairly green and pink area as places are. Okay, you got the boss cards here. I'm not too concerned about showing them off. We'll look at the minis. But you get some boss stuff here. You get some, looks like objective AB tokens here. And look at this, a trade like hold like stuff in. This is not attached like the last one. That's kind of interesting. But we do get cards here for everything and a little holders for them. So that's nice. I dig that. Here's some different quests that you can go on. Very cool. All right, and then we do have, let's go right there. Nice. Little separation in trays. Let's go and do the small one first, and we'll kind of dig into the bigger trays here. All right, so I do appreciate the black. I don't appreciate the tape. And then also it does have a little bit of a flare out here on the side, which is fairly common, but that can end up scratching the box. That being said, you hear that little bit of a crinkle. Not the most, not the thickest tray I've had. I guess is how I'd word that. So definitely a little bit skinnier than normal. They're not game trays here. But you know what? They do the job. So there is that. So that's nice. No locking lid or anything like that. That's why they have the tape. They do have the dimples though to kind of keep things in place. Now the minis themselves should look great. So let's go ahead and let's look at the little bug guy first. That looks like fun. So here is the bug, and yeah, I must say I like the little texture on the base. I do appreciate that. It looks like there's even a little bit of texture here. It's very faint, but it is there. And then of course he's attached there, but he's attached fairly believable. There's a little bit of an outcropping here, but that's all right. The shell here looks really great. The wings are a little thick. I would have liked them a little bit skinnier if we could have, or maybe just tapered at the end. When I was working on the primal miniatures, we had some plants, and that's something I focused on, and it really helps, I think, make it look not as bulky. If you just taper them towards the end, kind of like a sword, right? And you could even taper them here too. So that's what I did, is like just taper it, right? So it's still fairly thick. It's very easy to do, and I think it sells it a lot more than just a flat bar like that, if that makes sense. You can get away with a lot more thicker pieces that way. So that was one thing I really enjoyed doing with those plants, and I think it looks better for it. These little like extended leg things are disgusting. They have like the little kind of knuckle joint thing going on here. Love the different layers here. The head is a lot of fun, the little mosquito head. And again, this shell here is great. I like the little plant life on the top here too. Yeah, they're cool. You get, what, 3 of those, it looks like? Okay, let's look at some of these guys here. So again, sculpted base. And again, it's one of these things where it's like in the back has this, and then the front has like a different thing here. It's kind of interesting. It would have been nice because you can see a little bit of like almost a line here, which you see often just on the minis when they're made this way. It would have been nice to put some cobblestone across it so it didn't look so obvious, I guess I would say. There's a tiny bit of a wiggle, but not a whole lot. So looking at the mini here, though, it looks great. It's definitely an ABS PVC mix, I would say. And the reason I'm saying this is because PVC plastic is very, very matte. It's typically not shiny at all. ABS is always shiny, and you can actually mix them up, and that's what I think we're seeing here, and that's why it's that little bit of shine here. And that's how you get these swords that aren't super fat, but that aren't a separate ABS piece, but that are also straight, right? That's how you get that. You get a little bit of a spring there, right? Looks great. So I really do dig that. I love that he's like lunging over the base. Do you see that? Like he's like way forward with his, this is exactly how you would do a thrust, by the way. This is actually pretty accurate. I watched some guys that talk about like swords on YouTube and stuff like that. And one of the things, one of them was talking about, you know, like Shadversity, he was talking about melee in D&D and how you can actually, when you attack with a sword, you can attack pretty far. And this is exactly what he did, where it's like, I'm still in this space, and what you do is you lunge in and you come right back, way back over here. You want to keep that space, right? But with the arm and with you being able to lean forward like that, you can get some distance. So that was great actually to see that. That looks great. I'm really zooming in here. This is on par with all their other stuff, which is great. The fingers are separated. The hand looks great. A little bit of a palm there and stuff even. The teeth look frightening and amazing. I love the little bug eyes there. The hair looks good. The sleeve, unfortunately, isn't tapered in even slightly. I would have liked to see that a little bit like this. Yeah, see, look, we got two different sleeves. See how this has a taper and then it has the part inside? That makes painting it super easy. Just paint it black in there or whatever, right? Or darker, or you put a wash in there, it sits in there. Either way, it's that dark inside that looks just a lot more obvious. See how you get that little bit of a part going in there? And then this one doesn't have that at all, and that's unfortunate. That's an oversight. It's stuff like that that I'm really trying to pay attention on the miniatures I'm helping out with, because I noticed that almost right away, right? Like you got two different sleeves here. This isn't too thick. That looks great. This does have a little bit of a lip down, and that really helps you not just see a flat, smooth surface there. The ridges here look great. The layers look really good. The details are all crisp and nice. The assembly with the head is fine. I'm okay with that. Ripples in the hair look good. Cloth looks good. There's a little bit of a mold line going up here. It's quite faint though. It's not bad at all actually. Yeah, this is a great mini. This is good. I like them. Minus that sleeve, but that's okay. Okay, so we got that. Let's go ahead and do this one. This is this little squirrely looking guy. I love his like doofus face he's got going on there. Again, the assembly is quite good actually on there, and it allows you to get all this negative space in here. The tail I don't like. It really bothers me in a very, very real way. I like his little feet though too. And again, it's the same kind of thing. See where it's like textured and then not. Like I don't know what exactly is going on there, or why it's only on the front. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not. I don't recall if that's like do you see that? It looks like it's pretty much in half. Like, did they mess up? I don't know. I don't like that. Like, I want this on everything. What happened here? What's going on here? This is completely flat, completely smooth. There's no way they're all like that. Was this guy like that too? Yeah, he was like that too, right? Just in the back there. But it looks like there's a little bit of texture here. We'll keep an eye on that. And same thing, yeah, all texture in the front and a little bit in there. It's weird that they just did it in the back like that, because it looks great. It looks so much better if it was everywhere. There's no way. I'm going to have to check. I'm going to check after this tray. Okay, we got to zoom out a little bit because this is a big piece here. This is just all sorts of gnarly, right? You can see him hanging down upside down here. This looks great, though. The separation here is decent, so I'm pretty happy with that. It looks like it melts in a little bit. I would have pulled that out slightly, but otherwise, I think this looks great. The connection point's great. I love the little drippy parts here. That looks good. All the different layers look great. Look at that crisp line there, guys. That is nice looking. That is, I mean, you hear that? Oh my goodness gracious, that is good. Yeah, there's a hand there. It's freaking gross, but it's cool. You get 3 of those. All right, let's go ahead into the other tray, but I'm going to check on those bases first. All right, guys, take a look at this. It looks like you actually get different ones. So if you look here, while it's all the same sculpt, the bases are actually a variety of things, right? So if you see here, This one kind of surrounds it and then it has this. And again, I think it's supposed to be kind of like a water kind of thing, just based off the swampy kind of theme here. And then this one, as you can see, has a little bit of a different thing. It's like got this like ridge going on here. Do you see the difference there between the two here? One has this cobblestone, one doesn't. And then you have this one, which is almost the kind of split in half kind of one here too, where again, it's just supposed to be kind of washing up. So very, very different. And actually, with these, they're different sculpts. Right, so it's actually a unique sculpt here for each one of these, which is super cool to see. It looks like you can put them in kind of any which way you want, but it looks like it's mainly only those. It looks like these are all the same. So let's take a look at these guys, for instance. And yeah, see all the same sculpt with that little kind of water thing. I don't like it kind of going halfway like that still, but there's also another mini that I did miss here. Looks like they might actually have to go on a specific one. It goes there and then there. Okay. And that's this thing right here. Look at this. That looks freaking sweet. I love that. It'd be fun to paint. That's just awesome. I dig that. And see, you can see that kind of washing there as well. So it's just that kind of swamp stuff going on. That's what they're showing off there. That looks super cool though. Okay, all right, now we can happily move on. I was like, there's no way. They do really good job on their minis typically. They definitely take their pride in it. Okay, so now here, I'm just gonna take, I wonder if it's taped. I bet it's taped. I bet it's taped. Ugh, it's taped. Gross. Gross, gross, gross tape. Ugh, I hate these tapes. They're so annoying. Luckily, I think it's probably just 2. Yep. Okay. I think we're good now. Now, I'll drop that back in here. Okay. And now, you can hear that crinkling, man. It's not the norm. All right. So now we're going to zoom in here. And take out some minis. Let's start with these ladies here because that's a lot of fun. All right. Again, I love the different poses and all the little stuff on here looks great. I love the kind of, bowed out dress. And again, even this is textured, which is great. The fingers, again, are separated. You can see the little notch there for the fingers. This one's separated a lot more, and it looks great. I really do dig that. That being said, she only has 3 fingers here, and then it looks like a thumb. So she's got like 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she only has 4 fingers, 4 digits on her hands. So that freaks you out, almost as much as the crazy mask and stuff. But yeah, like the separation here, right? That's actually like more than even a 90-degree angle. That's an obtuse angle there. So it's just really crisp angles, right? Where like you can see right here, that's like a normal 90 where it goes that way and then up. All that looks good. Yeah, I mean, it's a solid mini, obviously, but yeah, no, these are good. They seem pretty robust too. I dig it. Get 3 of her. This guy is going to have a sore back. I love it. That's great. All right, so you can see his like tongue hanging out. That looks awesome. I really dig the tongue. The deep eye sockets are a lot of fun. I love his like shackled hands here. There's a little bit of warping here that I don't like. It's way too smooth here. I would have asked him to, finish that finger at least, and then had the rest of nothing else, but it like barely finishes there. Otherwise, it's pretty good. There's a little bit there too, but at least the hand is separated more. The assembly looks great on both of these, both this head and then this thing here, which has a piece here, piece here, piece here, and piece here. This is what I was talking about with how cheap Kaman makes theirs, because, they just do these single cast sculpts, so they're doing nothing like this, right? You won't find anything this interesting from Kaman, because it takes too many pieces. It costs more. Like, this fundamentally costs more to make, but it looks great. Love the, like, crazy weird vein stuff going on there. And again, this stuff, hey, it just, what a cool mini. It doesn't seem too top heavy. So that's good. That's a fun one. I dig that. What do we got here? Let's go ahead. Take a look at this. Look at this. And again, you can see that sculpts on the base still. Got this big plant life. This reminds me a lot of Super Fantasy Brawl with just these thick leaves like that, right? But I mean, that's one of the things I liked is I felt like Darkest Dungeon really fits Mythic's style really well. This is really secure in there, as you can see. But really crisp line here too. Like it looks good. Doesn't really look too separated or anything. Look at these guys, or ladies, I guess I should say. Yikes, 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 yikes. Every part of this is frightening. So you have the little leg things going on here, and they're going on these little rocks just to have more surface area. I don't know how necessary that was. These are pretty thick. This right here, I don't like the look of this one. It looks like this right here, right? Is this all one piece here, and this is another? Do you see how it looks like a separate piece? Like it just looks weird. Like this looks like a leg. This looks like a leg. What is going on here? What is this? I don't know what I'm looking at there. That looks like a leg, and then it should just come down here. So what's this warping right here going on? What is... It's like it came out here, and then another piece came out there. Like it's two separate pieces. But this one isn't like that. Do you see how it looks like it's two different legs? It's weird. Maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. It's a separate piece. And then this top part is there, and then these arms are separate, and it's just really nice to see all that. The mouth is crazy. It is sculpted inside the mouth. All this hair looks great. The wings are in line with the other wings. Again, I would have tapered them, but it's okay, and they're not too thick or anything like that. Big old fat tail, and again, that armored plating stuff looks great in my opinion. All right, so that's that lady. Yikes. Okay, got some of these guys here. I love how excited they are. Again, it's just such a different feel for the game compared to most. All the bases have been flat that I've tested, so that's nice. I love his little like neck thing here. And he's got his, lovely food. Look at his hand underneath here. Even that looks great, I feel. And then again, his like mouth is open. He's super excited about it. Like a ta-da, here you go. This concave here turned out really great. I like that. And he's holding that kind of odd. It's like in between his fingers, kind of. So like there's a finger here. It's like he's missing a finger almost. It's just a weird way to open it. I would have liked him to just grab it, like this, as opposed to like this and like miss a finger. So that's kind of odd because he has 3 fingers there plus a thumb, and here he has like 1, 2, 3, but I don't see the 4th. But otherwise, I think this looks great. I really do dig this, and his legs look much better. So I appreciate that too. And again, full personality. Okay, we got 3 of these. Look at the nose on that one. I think that is bent. Yes, it is. Okay, so we got a bent one here. Again, hot water will bend that right back. Let's go and take a look at the one that's not bent, though. Arms outstretched like that. I love it. He does have a line right through his mouth that for the assembly. That's kind of noticeable just because I feel like the face is something you really look at. So I would have preferred to almost... see if you could cut it up higher, like behind the teeth. I think that would have been better than like right perfect eye level. That's a quick way to do it, I suppose. Again, legs look great. We do got a little bit of that rock stuff to help connect it. It looks like it's warping in perhaps a little bit, but you could say that's a crevice, so I think it's okay. As always, the armor there looks good. The mold line was hidden very well. I do appreciate that. I like the little swoosh in his clothes, so you get a real big sense that he's coming to like give you a hug. And again, that nose, my goodness. That was a nose and a half is what that is. Okay, put those guys back. Get to some of these bigger guys. Look at this one. Yikes, disgusting. That's what this person is. Again, love the big face. I love the hair. The hair, for whatever reason, reminds me of Cat from Red Dwarf. He always had his hair kind of floofy like this. It's just, again, let me know if you recognize that reference. Love the little bow ties. You gotta look pretty. The overhang here is stellar. I love that. That looks fantastic because it's a separate piece and it looks great. The line here is hidden, I think, much better because of the texture than the line in the other mouth that didn't really have that. These kind of growths, like the little plant stuff here looks great. The claws look wonderful. Again, separate pieces there. The antenna look great. Coming out of the hair like that. Love the like opened shirt. What a great mini. I dig that. That's just fun. That's what that is. That's all that is. All right, let's yeah, why not? We'll look at this guy here. So there's this guy. Oh dear Lord. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh man. Okay. So yeah. This is level with this. So it just sits like that. Actually, it's a little bit not level. Do you see that? It's a little bit of a give. There's a little bit of a gap here. So in other words, this goes a little bit lower. So maybe it should be a little bit higher. You could adjust it if you want. It's very minimal. Okay, so first things first. It's got a booty. That's the most important part, is the booty. But minus the booty is the fact that if you look down here, all this underside is actually colored or textured. If you want to color it, you could put this in the freezer, and then you can literally, it'll break where the glue is. The super glue that they use gets very brittle, and you can just snap it right there just fine. This assembly line is hidden very well. I think it's very smartly placed. These like eye things are really gross. The inside of the mouth is fantastic. This one, inside of this mouth is cool too, but we'll talk about that. Teeth look great. I love how separated they are. I dig that. I like that he's yelling and he's yelling and he's yelling and he's yelling. All four mouths are yelling. Okay, and then out of his hands comes this junk, where as you can see, it just gets all sorts of nasty. There's a little bit of a mouth here. I like the molar teeth that are on that. That's gross. And then you get this big mouth thing here with all the teeth going every which way, like a pug's mouth almost. Huge teeth. Get that nice texture in there. The assembly here, it's a little rough. There's a little bit of a lip there. But honestly, if you painted that and it was dark or whatever, I think it's going to look fine. Anyway, and again, you can always freeze it and adjust it as needed. But I love the teeth, particularly, and the slack-jawed mouth and stuff like that. What a crazy mini. What a crazy mini. What kind of place is this? We got some eggs. This looks great. I love this. I'm not a big fan of the smoothness here. I would have liked little bubbles or slight waves or foam or something, as opposed to pretty much nothing. There's a little bit of a ebb and flow to it, but it's not a whole lot. Love the plants though. I think it looks great. This may be a little bit rough. That's like really solid there. Like you see how it has a 1, 2, 3. It has this little middle part here. Here you don't get that. Right here on this side. Let me zoom in now that we're looking at something big here. You can kind of see what we're taking a look at. So right here you get an extra blade of grass. Here, there's not really good definition between those. You can kind of see that again here too. See how smooth it is here? So this is like some kind of rock thing or something. But then on the back, you just kind of lose that. It doesn't quite look like that. It just looks like flat, like they forgot to sculpt something. Otherwise, again, I think all the plants look really, really cool. And I love this egg. All right, put that back. Check out this guy here. Again, disgusting. These guys that get grosser and grosser. These spikes came out awesome. They came out really, really good. The blade, a little bit thicker than I would have liked, perhaps, for its size, but it's all right. It will get skinny here. This is where it would bend and break if it's going to. Again, we have the line right across the mouth. But it's right at the very end of the mouth where the base hits. I think it's hidden a lot better, and once painted, I doubt that'll actually be visible at all. We got a little bit of a fork going on here. It's kind of fun. It is bent. I think it's supposed to be though. And again, the hair looks, all sorts of silly. The face coming out of here looks awesome. I love that. Love the opening here and all the different stuff there. These arms outstretched and like moved from there. They look gross. These tiny little legs that he's got look gross. Love it. All right, then we got this one here. This one was always a doozy. Love the little tail that it's got going here for the big old body. Right. Again, seeing all the plants and stuff are really fun. The waves here actually look super interesting. I kind of dig that. Right, the little bit of splashing, and that's again how you can tell this is actually water, and then the foam here. But really, painting is going to sell this more than I think most anything. Inside of the mouth, still sculpted. Love the little teeth up here. The eyes look great. All of this, the spikes look good. All the details there. It looks wonderful, in my opinion. I really like it. I think it looks great. Okay, almost done with this whole expansion. We got this lady here. It looks like we've already seen her before. We just get more of her. I could have sworn I've already looked at her. Maybe I did and I just didn't realize. She looks similar. Let's take a look at this one. Freaking gross is what this is. You get two different versions, so we'll look at both. Again, the underside's all textured like that. Love the base. This ripped cloth looks great. The big old nose is more and more unsettling the more we see it. The mouth is disgusting. It's super huge and slack jawed. The assembly is actually quite good. I'm completely happy with that. All the wings, again, those look fairly much the same as always, so those are fine. Little like bulbs on the pustules and stuff on the shoulders are disgusting. What a gross looking mini. Let's look at this one, which is more of like a little geisha thing. So she doesn't have the nose. She does have the teeth, and then she has a little fan there. It's very interesting. I think she's trying to be pretty, but I think that I think it failed. Hopefully this doesn't gross you out too much. Like it looks like some weird fruit you'd see online, you know? I mean, it just looks gross. And I love that this goes all the way to the base there. I really do that. And you see the little legs clamping out. But my goodness, what a gross set of minis. My daughter's going to look at all these minis. She loves looking at the minis, my youngest. And she's going to be like, oh, gross. This looks awesome. I love this. These curio are great. I would have liked to see this defined a bit more. So just put that little notch here on the outside. That would have been very appreciative. That's way too smooth. But the sides, I think, look great on that. Love the plants growing out of it. Especially these like saggy mushrooms out of the nose and eye sockets. Disgusting. Disgusting. It's awesome. The broken arm here is cool. I mean, it just looks great. It really does. I love that it comes out from the side back and then kind of ends up centered. That's super cool too. And guys, that was everything. So now all we have to do is open up the other big box of miniatures. So let's get right to it. All right, guys, this is it. This is the Strongbox with all of the minis. And again, different background on this one. It's kind of interesting. They have this here and then the art here. Super cool art though. Like this looks great. like how he's like, cool, all fighter, and he's all hurt. And he's like, I'm playing the banjo. That's freaking awesome. He looks like he's like Tenacious D over there. He's just gonna like start like. Okay, you see this right here? This is interesting. So the box here should open up really well. And the reason I say that is because you see the little extra bit there? It's really pulled in here, but you can see in the corners it resists that. That little bit of extra actually really helps the box open up. Sometimes you get those boxes that are really hard to open. It's because it's too tight of a fit. You want it a little bit loose on there. Not so much to where it just like falls out and it doesn't hold it. So it's a very, very delicate process, but you definitely want it to not just be super tight on there or a real struggle to open it up. And you don't want that. Okay. There we are. Oh, it's actually a lot lighter when it's not like paper and cardboard and stuff. It's not like 30 million map tiles. See how easy that was? And that's why. Okay, and we get the normal box here. So it was nice not to have this box and to have the other box outside at least. That's good. So we got probably two. I'm assuming this is the last one here. Now, one thing I've noticed is I have not seen any silica packets, and these feel wet. This feels a little kind of moist. Now it's kind of fall season, right? So it's been raining more and stuff like that. But luckily, I don't have any mildew. But again, add the silica packets, please. I beg you. You know, like I'm like looking at that spot. I'm like, what about that spot there? I don't know. It feels wet. Like it feels damp. If that makes sense. It feels like there's also a little bit of a push in right there, but probably nothing on the outside. Nope. Okay. Let's go ahead can open her up. So these are not black. I don't know why one was black, one wasn't. It does have instructions right here. You can kind of see that up here, though it's a very general shape, but at least it's there. It helps when they're clear like this. I prefer them black. You can see the shape of the hole, you know, the space better. When they're clear, it just looks kind of like a mess. No tape, though. I do appreciate that. And again, same kind of more thin stuff here, but let's, I guess, just dive right in. All right, so we're gonna push that like that. I'm gonna start way over here. Okay, gargoyle guy. Yeah, I dig it. He's got a couple different pieces with his arms and his head here. So again, multi-piece to get this interesting spaces where you get these, you know, like negative spaces you can have that I really appreciate. Otherwise, his arm would have been like stuck to him and stuff like that. It would have been kind of weird. Definitely muscular. So it looks fairly imposing there. And the base, fully based, looks great. I much prefer this base than the, well, okay, if it's painted, the swamp thing is going to look great. And the little tiny wings, I dig the little tiny wings. And this one is like attached to his arm, whereas this one is not. But it's still, because of it was able to pull out, they didn't really need a separate piece. Or is it a separate piece? No, it is not. It's all attached to there. And a very smooth tail. And I don't know if it needs to be that smooth or not, but it's fine. It looks great. I love the big elongated jaw that he's got going on there. Gosh, so many different things here. Look at that. Oh, I love it. So see, this is what I was talking about, where if they put it in the front, they have to attach it. Otherwise, it's a separate piece. So it looks like they made this guy all in one piece, which is super cool to see that he was able to do that. This hand, it might be different, but I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think it's all the same. The mask, though, look at that. Look at like the depth of the holes there. Like that looks awesome. And then this kind of fur to line it like that, and then the blades to line it. I like that they're angled at difference. And again, even though they're thick, tapering it helps a lot. It really does. You should do that with a lot more things. This looks great. Love the materials here at play. I think they look awesome. Very, very cool. I dig them. I like him. Oh, you get a whole bunch of him, huh? All right, let's go and look at the snakes here. Not as smooth as you would think, because they do have all these like gashes and stuff too, which will really show up nicely once painted. In fact, even like some like divots and stuff like that. There was a little bit of a mold line here. It's the first time I've really seen one. They have almost no mold lines. They do great when it comes to that. And it looks like that's probably just a big cobblestone here, but it almost looks like you forgot to put the texture here. The like ribs down here, all that looks great. The inside of the mouth is not sculpted though, and I do not appreciate that. This snake, its whole focus is right here. It literally is pointing to the mouth. You want to look at that mouth, you want to look at those big teeth, and then you do this. It's like almost nothing. Like, come on, I could use some more texture than that. Really? Yeah, it's frustrating. In fact, even this, see how there's a little bit of lines here going up, right? Like there should be. On here, there aren't really any. Like they didn't make it. Like here, let's get super close here. See the line there? At least where they should be. You can kind of see that. Now take a look over here. It just feels a lot more smooth. And again, this very unfortunate that that's not accentuated more. Everything else looks great. I really, really do dig this. I think it looks awesome. Zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Okay, next up we have these. I hated these freaking like cannoneer dudes, man. They hurt. They hit hard. Again, the face looks great in there. Looks really, really good. And this hood going into there like that looks exquisite. Looks awesome. I love it. The rope here, guys, looks great. Looks great. I really dig it. I love the stitching on here too. Let's go ahead and see, now that we got a human, I know that took a while to find a person. Let's see how tall a person is here. So there's a little step feature here where I can see exactly kind of how big a person is per se. Okay, let's say about 36, 37 millimeters. So to eye level, it's probably 35 is what I would guess. So 35 millimeter scale is what we're looking at here when it comes to a person. And then normally everything is kind of based on that, but he was standing pretty good. So from base to eye about 35 millimeter. So, I mean, these are nice sized guys. They look good. I like them. They might seem a little bit squatter just because they're so chunky, right? But that's a design thing there. Okay, we do have these guys here that just have a different like alt sculpt to it. So they have these like wolf pelts to it, which look awesome. I love that. It looks super cool. But otherwise, it's the exact same thing. Okay, we got these little brain dudes, and little Metroid bat wing things going on. A lot of fun there. This is kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what this is. If it's supposed to be like plants, I don't know why it's like just coming off the front there. I appreciate this more than just a post that's clear. For the most part, I actually don't mind clear posts. I know some people do, and if you get a bubble, it's kind of a bummer, but otherwise, I just really want it to make sense. And this almost seems, I guess like it's dragging it, perhaps. Love the teeth, though. Love the overhang here. The wings look really cool. I dig all that. Even looks cool from the back side. These weird vein things going on here. Very gross. Next up, these guys. Oh, man. These are beefcakes. Really, really like the claws. And this pose is a really fun pose. Super muscular. All the holes here on the little helmet thing look great. The ropes are amazing. This little scroll work on here came out really well. There's a little bit of a spot here from the runner, but that's okay. I think it looks fine. All the detail here looks great. Gets a little muddy here, like where'd his foot go? So see, here's his foot here. You get a pretty good definition here, right? I'm okay with all that. But then once you get to here, what the heck is going on here, guys? Here's his foot. And then what happened? Where is it? I think there's a line there for it, sort of, kind of, but there's not really one here. So that could look a little bit better, I feel. But otherwise, I think he looks great. Love the skull. Really do. All right, got this one. Maybe even a little bit more for you guys. These are pretty small. I can manage. Yeah, guys, that is dangerous. even these here are. Love the face. Again, this whole bottom jaw thing is hilarious. Love the tentacles. That looks great. That looks super cool. I dig that. Looks gnarly. There's 3 different kinds. There's smooth, there's like ribbed, and then there's suction company, which is fun. The little skull here looks great. Ropes always look good. Love the stuff kind of coming out of his arm, right? And then like wrapping around it. I think that looks super cool. And his fingers, I think, came out really well also. So he's neat in like a gross way. So many guys. Look at this. I love it. I love that he's way back here and he's like, I'm going to get you. Love his face. Like, I really like his face. That's a lot of fun. The feet look good. He's turned pretty well for just being a spine. That connection looks good as well. I love that he still has the gloves on. And that looks good too. Like, all this looks great. I really dig it. All right, we got these guys here. Some of the bigger ones for this batch here. Yeah, gnarly looking arm. You might want to get that looked at. So again, looks kind of like this guy, right? But obviously adjusted a little bit. So that's fun. Yeah. I don't know. Unfortunate what happened, huh? Looks great though. Again, all the sculpt lines there, all that looks good. They changed the foot, so they solved the foot problem, right? I was complaining about the foot before. Now there is no foot. Assembly looks good. I think they did a good job on that as well. Which is important for a movie like that. You really want it to stand out, I feel. Okay, then we got these ladies. Again, it's very similar to the guy, but it's a lady. The dagger seems a little bit shorter. Maybe it's just me. Sitting on the tippy toe, that came out really good. This looks fine. I'm okay with that. Scroll work looks good. This isn't cool though. So again, I understand that you need to like mold that, but I mean, you guys see this, right? So here's her arm, and then her arm goes up here. But then what is this part here in the middle? That's her thumb. But this part right here, right there's the issue, right? See, arm, thumb, and then filler. And that filler is the bummer. It's going to look weird when you paint it. Also, it kind of has a gnarly mold line on the bottom compared to compared to everything else. A little tiny dot there. I want to maybe trim that up. It's sticking out a little bit. Better sticking out than, dug in. All right, anyway, that's them. Almost done here with these. Look at that. That like used to be a person. Like you can see the hood and where the sleeves were. But yeah, it's no longer really a person. Oh, darn. That's cool, though. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Get in your spot. Get in your hole. All right, here is kind of one of the little curio here. Again, the sculpt came out great. This actually seems more detailed than some of the others, actually. And yeah, and the plant life and all that looks great as well. Let's go and actually compare real quick. I guess it is. It's a little bit thicker or a little bit deeper, right? So see, this is how I would like it. Like really deep grooves like this. Here's how most of them are. And while the grooves are nice, this is perfectly fine. It's not quite as defined, right? Hopefully you can kind of see that and kind of know what I'm talking about. It's not quite as deep of a cut. Look at these gross guys. Everything's gross in this game. Love it. It looks like it just kind of grew over the top of it here. And it's all nasty and gnarly and you don't want any part of it. Looks like there's the face right there. Lovely. All right. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. A little crossbowman. Love the open mouth here. I love how they can like barely see through those. Like little safari hats almost. The square quiver is fantastic. I love that. Arrows came out quite good. I'm happy with those. And I'm happy that it's right there, able for him to load it pretty easily. It even has like the crank. You can see right there to like pull it back, which is really neat that they even did that. Like I do really like that. That looks super cool. I dig it. These guys, like a staple. It's one of the first, enemies you really fight against. And I love the spilled out drink. And even the texture of the drink here, I think it looks actually really great. Skull looks awesome. Fur coat looks cool. I mean, love these clasps. I mean, that is just great. A little tiny dagger and his feet down here. And you can see inside there for his pants and everything. That's a great sculpt. This is the last one on this tray. This is looking great. I like the separation there. The rod part of the spear here doesn't look too thick, so I appreciate that. They did a bigger connection here, but I think it still works. It's a little close, but I think overall that's okay. It's a tiny, tiny bit of fill, but not anything too bad. And the skeleton bones look awesome. Love the armor plating here too. Open mouth, again, looks good. Looks like he's wearing 3D glasses. It looks like to me. Okay, let's go ahead. Take a look into the final tray, final box, wave 1 of Darkest Dungeon. No, that's not the final box. There's another box. I was just kidding. Guys, we're never going to be done. Look at this. It's black. What the heck? Why is the first one not black? Riddle me that, huh? Explain that one to me. Well, I can't. Okay. Let's see here. We got this little guy. He's like really excited to come see ya. I dig it. Very cartoony, right? It's very smooth textured here, very thick. The bottom with the legs looks disgusting. So they did a great job on the legs, actually. They're all fairly separate, and like even that's not even connected. Just looks like it almost would be, but it's totally not. That's the little ant guys there. We got another little disgusting face thing, so you can see the mouth here. What used to be eyes, and then his brain, and little weird web tentacle octopus thingies. Disgusting. All right, here's another one. Just a different sculpt of it, but overall the same kind of spider. Let's get that alt sculpt. Oh man, I hated these guys. Ugh. Man, they'll shout and they'll stress the crap out of you. Yeah, you keep covering your mouth, you jerk. Hated these guys. But you meet them fairly early game and they just mess you up. I kill these guys as soon as possible. Because, dear Lord, do I hate them. Love the broken knee there, where you can kind of see the bones. The little strap hanging down here, and then these here. I think all these look great. Those are super cool. And again, even the face. Look how sunken in his eyes are. Just, what a freak. Hate those guys. I'm getting like PTSD from the game at this point, just unboxing this. Okay, wood texture. Looks great. I think all this looks good. The one interesting thing I would note is it almost looks like the grain is popped out. And oh, man. So the one thing I would say that's interesting about this wood is while it looks great, and you can even hear, normally the ridges are inlaid, right? So you can add like a wash or something like that and get those darker rings. I feel like this is too skinny for that, first of all. But it almost seems like it's raised out. It's not. It's actually a recession, but it's very, very thin. So it'll be interesting to see how that works with everything. We got that one. We got these little bug guys. Oh, they're adorable. Aren't they adorable? They're so cute. Oh, they're itty bitty. Look at this thing, man. This is all sorts of like smoke and mirrors. That's what all this is. Love the sinuous line here. That looks great. All the detail looks cool. It's solid too. Like that is solid. There's no hollow there of any kind. Look at this guy. I love him. This guy, not this guy. This guy's freaky. So here's the top guy. Remember, his mouth is a little bit extended, and he's like breaking his back because this whole guy is like chomping out. Love the sculpt design of this one. Looks really great. The slack jawed part here, where his like teeth doesn't even go back here, but they do go back farther here, and his like tonsils and everything are like way over here. Just gross and disgusting. And again, I love that it's nasty. Look at this guy. Here he is. This is the ancestor. Looks super great. Love the fingers. Those hands are very dynamic. The coat looks good. His face, mouth, beard, all that looks great. There's a little bit, again, of cleanup here, but that's all. Either way, I think he looks solid. We got some banners here. That's fun to see. I love the little skull with the single opening here. And then him holding this up. And again, I don't think, is this in there? It is. It's laid in there. So it should be pretty secure. Might need to be bent a little bit. This looks great. Like all of this looks good. The inlay here looks great. The multiple layers looks good. I love those a lot. Okay, we got this guy, except he has a club instead of a sword. Otherwise, pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit smooth here for my taste. It seems a little bit smoother than normal. Hand looks great. Ribs look awesome. Skull looks awesome. Sculpt design is neat as well. These little things here, just a little tiny bit of terrain here. Hey, look, every little bit counts, okay? All right, we got these guys, and they are smiling. Look at their eyes. They got sculpted pupils. Do you see that? That is frightening stuff. That is the stuff of nightmares. Meanwhile, this stuff's like strapped onto him. Like he's like, yeah, he's so happy. He's being possessed by weird larva things. Love the pose on him, dude. He looks freaking boss. So he's got like it almost looks like hair, but it's like the chainmail. Skull looks amazing. What a strong pose. Holding that arm out. Arrow right down in there. 2 more in him. He doesn't care. He's got his little tiny axe thing. He's ready to go. This is a fun mini. I really like this one. He even's got his like little talisman here. Little declaration of honor kind of thing. We're almost to the heroes. Okay, just again another little hodgepodge of different materials and whatnot. This thing's freaking gross. They do this a lot with the whole lopsided mouth thing. Freaks me out every time, of course. Assembly's okay. I'm fine with that. That looks okay. Again, especially primed and painted. And this webbing, guys, is disgusting. Oh, mini's gross. Alright, speaking of gross, here is a face with a tentacle coming out of it. That's like his like vertebrae stuff going on. Yeah, because that's the thing. At least his hair's nice. And you get a few different versions, right? Here's another one. And I think this is another version as well. It is. There you go. And these, I don't know if you recognize or not, but are actual characters. Let's see those soon. Speaking of which, let's go and take a look at the characters. Lighter plastic, right? So you can kind of see the difference there. Right, so you will definitely see them. Rope here looks awesome. right? Really, really good. And again, size, very, very nice as well. Hefty. All the lines here look great. Again, this axe, especially split like that, looks awesome. Assembly here is great. Love this. Love that. That looks good. Mold lines are clear. The hook looks awesome. I really dig that. Looks great. Looks great. And we got the old guy here. This is more of a, so he doesn't even have a base. This is just to represent where he is in the village, if he's drinking or getting whipped or, whatever it might be. Love his bald head. There's a mold line right across here. It's kind of unfortunate because you totally see it. Glasses look great, by the way, too. I really like those. Okay, then here it looks like we have the marker to go on the map with all the doors, right? So you're moving this torch, which will look great painted to kind of see where you're at and where you're going. All right, the potion master themselves, they throw these things with great efficiency. Love the plague doctor, and you have the little vial here, the mask, the hood, all looks cool. Come on. All right, the Hellion. This is a fun one. Look, first of all, that is like well balanced, right? And it's solid too. You could bend it if you wanted to, but it honestly, it feels really good. The hair looks great. Obviously, the face. The eyes are almost a little too sunken in for my taste. They're pretty deep in there. This looks great. It's all separate. This is again really skinny, but it's holding up, I think, just fine. The armor looks great. Really dig the little floof there. Cool mini. All right, this is fun. I love how he's holding it up with his thumbs like that, and you got the skull and the candle on top of it. Big old sleeves here. Whole bunch of like scrolls, like stuffing out of a bag there. So has a little dagger there if he needs it. This looks great. Again, that kind of stargating, that warping back there. That's super smooth. Just you see how this has a little ripple there and another little ripple here. Just add a little ripple there. Like put the line where the pants are, and then a little ripple, and then you're good to go. You did on this side. I just wanted it done on that side too. It's a little too smooth. Otherwise, though, this looks great. Keep them coming. All right. Oh man, this is fun. These are the snipers. You want them in the back. Again, the face looks great. Bandana looks awesome. Huge crossbow, like a massive one. It looks like you would take that and slot it back, and then it would like lock behind this. I think is how that works. And again, she's got her bolts here in the square quiver on the back, which I appreciate. Looks super cool. A little bit right there too, perhaps. Love it. Okay, here's the guy I played. He was a lot of fun. He has an ability that allows him to move and attack. And that's his attack. So I never did a move action. I was moving around the board by attacking, and that really spoke to my soul. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Scroll work here looks great. It's not too thick at all. Actually, it looks really, really nice. It's curled up where it needs to be. He's got his little satchels and stuff like that. His armor looks great. Base looks good. This is separate, right? So they definitely spent the time and the money to make sure that it looks good, because at the end of the day, that's who you are. And I think they did a great job on that one. Like, these are just fun. Look at the whip here. Look at this chain. That's crazy. Wrapped around him like that too. Again, the face is like wild. Separation between the arm is good. Swooshiness here looks great. That's a fun one. Okay. Oh man, yeah. So Gravedigger is just charging from the very back there. She's gonna fall. That's what's gonna happen. She's about to just face plant that. Love the hat. Obviously, the face looks cool too. Love the like flowing area here. It just really, really cool to see everything just swoosh back, right? It gives that sense of motion, I think, really, really well. All right, then we got the Highwayman himself with the little gun and the little dagger. Though definitely he's better with the gun. Love the face and the hairdo here and the outfit. Just such a cool looking character to kind of start the game with, if you ask me. And next up we got the Jester here, and again, love the little banjo, the little ding 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 ding. That's fun. It does get a little soft here, and so that's unfortunate because everything else I think looks really solid, but this is kind of messy in here. I'm not too happy with that. Everything else I think looks pretty darn good. I love the little bells on the feet. That's great. All right, last one of this box. And we got that one last box. Here's your healer. Again, the armor looks nice and crisp. The hood looks awesome. Even the fingers here look great. The pages on the book, the fact that it has pages is awesome. Really dig that. There's a gap here. That looks good. Yeah, a little, see, like this is warped, but then they added the texture on the side, and I think it looks great. So that's kind of my mentality there. All right, guys, that is that one done. So let's go ahead. Not drop these, not make a mess, please. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and do the very, very last box. This has been a lot. This is not, I mean, this is as much as many other games are total. This is a lot of games. But I'm super excited to play it. I had so much fun with it at Gen Con. Alright. Last one, here we go. Big reveal. Big old mini. Oh no, look at this. Look at this, guys. I'll get all jostled around there. Maybe I should put a lid. It's interesting because you even have these. It must have just jostled just enough. Unfortunate. Well, but it looks like it's just the one tray and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back here. And just start looking at these guys, huh? Let's go ahead and look. And oh yeah, actually let's fix this real quick. It's really messy. It's going to bother me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yep. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. Look at this one. There we go. Love the skulls. I think they're a little too small for a normal person. I don't have a normal person with me. Maybe this person? I mean, they seem kind of tall. Yeah, he's a little exaggerated. Here we go. That seems better. Yeah, that works. That works. I'm okay with that. That's passable. So, yeah, no life-size heads here. Sometimes they're too big or too small and doesn't make a lot of sense. The hands look great. All the fingers look good. The assembly, I think, came out really well. Yeah, even on the base, like that looks good. Really, really like, I mean, so, again, a lot of it's this kind of single cast, right? But then it's like almost perpendicular to this, which is just super neat. Muscles look great. The mouth is freaky. I don't like her. But otherwise, yeah, I think it looks great. All right, love this one. It's just so fun. I love the wood. We don't have a lot of that. What I will say is, well, this part of the wood looks great. The top part did not get the same attention. It should have some grain, some texture to it too. It just looks like solid clay or something like that. So that's unfortunate. Beard looks super cool. Love that he's holding out that stuff. The like ball and chain stuff here, all the chains there. All of this looks cool. It's just really, really neat. All right, look at this one. Oh my gosh, he's so big. I love it. Oh my gosh, look at this one. He is so big. I love it. Look at that face. Oh, jeez. Again, coming out way over the base on this to go smack some people. And again, that armor, those like sleeves there look so good. A little sash here with the armor here. It's gonna look so cool painted. These are awesome. Really, really cool. All right, look at this. How cool is this? I love this mini. Look how he's split like this. Looks fantastic. So cool. This is probably my favorite mini so far. I don't have any other mini like this that's splitting apart like this. And more person, less person, right? Oh, so cool. So cool. All right, finally, on the top row, we got this guy here, balding and everything. He's got his little Warhammer thing going on here. Got a little bit of a staff here. Love the like little grimoire kind of thing he's got on here. He's got a little talisman here, talisman there, some armor there, nice robe, tiny bit of a mold line. I think he looks super cool for an old guy. All right, look at this thing. Dear Lord. Okay, so there's the face. This is an eyeball, so this is the iris. It's very deep set in there, but you would paint that I think orange or something like that. Anyway, that's a big old eyeball. You can see kind of the veins on there, all sculpted on there. I mean, it looks nasty. And then she's like not even paying attention with her big old crab claws, but they look gnarly. They got like teeth and stuff. And then of course you got the whole body part as well, with even like a little pincer there. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. How'd you fit in there? All right. We got this one here. Same kind of concept, but instead he's got like the Cell from Dragon Ball Z sucker, where you could suck up like Android 17 and stuff. Again, the face looks great. Love the little kind of cloth there. Little pinchers coming out there are gross. Again, the claws are nasty. And little tiny little skinny legs, which I actually think they held up quite good. And they didn't put any rocks in here either. I don't think they needed to in the other ones, but they did. So the other ones had these rocks. This is the bigger one. It doesn't have any rocks in it. It's solid in there. Again, they can connect really, really well in there. Or else they should be able to. All right, next up, we have this guy who, again, has like this little cane thing, which is fun. All this fur stuff, which is great. He like can barely see. He's got like one little eye hole. Fingers look great. Love the spikes on the helmet. The multi-pieces here to have that kind of flow looks awesome. Tiny little bit of a runner there, easy to clean up. Looks great. Okay, I kind of showed him very briefly. You can see him here holding up his little sign. Again, that looks great. And it looks fairly normal until you get down here and you see all the little tentacles. And you're like, wait a second. Wait a second. That's not a person. No, it is not. Not anymore. And then this one, this is like I think the main one that they advertised with. So you can kind of see the final version here. Got the scroll work here, though. The inlaid scroll is on this side, but not on this side. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. I don't remember what the original one. It would have been nice to have this on both sides, and if nothing else, in my opinion. You have the little scroll holders here. The chain looks great. The hand looks cool. Love the face. Look, that is such a deep socket. It's disgusting, but super fun. All right, next up we got this guy. Get another version of him, but he actually has his claws open. I was wondering if we would get that or not, so I'm glad to see the open claw here. And again, the assembly, I think it's fine. There's a little bit of a gap there. Not too bad. I've actually not had a big issue with any of these minis. They do not fit in the best. It's like they have to go in a certain way. This is one of my favorite. I love this. I love the caged helmet look. Sometimes in like a Dark Souls kind of stuff, I'll be running around with something like that. So the little bit of like fire here looks awesome. Love the outstretched hands, or the face is coming out of this body everywhere. Just super cool, super gross. Love it. More and more and more. Look at this guy here. I love, love, love all these little like tusk things coming out here. Little spikes on the tentacles. All the texture here. The faces and mouths and stuff that you get. The nasty sucker things here are disgusting, and I hate these. Ugh, gross. Gross, gross, gross. Alright, we got another big ol' snake here. So here is a two-headed snake. Again, the scales I think look super cool. It does get a little soft in the detail in a few spots. But I think that also kind of works a lot for snakes too, so that's okay. The assembly here is a little bit rougher. It gets really smooth here, and that line is fairly obvious. And then this is kind of interesting too. Look at this. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't think that's on purpose. It almost looks like it got damaged or something. Do you see that? I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's supposed to be there. Maybe it's a scar. And I'm just looking at it hard. I think that's supposed to be just damage. Love the little smile they got there. Again, sculpted pupils. They did that again. The fangs look great. This detail right here is a little soft. So do you see the nice crisp detail here? Do you hear that? And then do you see the soft detail here? So this is a lot softer than that, and that's unfortunate. Again, this line looks super obvious to me here. Actually, I don't know. This is like, he's like shedding. This is like his skin coming off. So I think that's what it's supposed to represent there. And that looks super cool. Like that looks really cool and really interesting. That being said, look at the inside of this mouth. How unfortunate is that? Such a cool mini. Again, you're focused on the inside mouth and it looks like that. That is frustrating. Everything else here looks great, but what the heck happened here? Get some texture in there. It's completely smooth. Anyway. Looks like it wasn't even finished. Got a whole bunch of little snakes here too. Again, completely smooth inside of the mouth. Like completely smooth. It's got the little scars and stuff there. Kind of dashed all around it, so I do appreciate that. And I like how he's like folded in on himself too. That looks cool too. Got this, the pyre. This is like a person tied up there that's gonna get smoked out. That's some bad times there. That's not fun. I won't speak too much on that. Just dang, it does have texture on the top there. I appreciate that. This guy is super cool. I love his like little 9 lashes kind of whip thing going on here. Like what is it? A cat of 9 tails or some junk. The belts here with the buckles look great. The muscles look great. The face with the hood looks awesome. And I love the pose of him hanging over like that. All right, looks like we do have the Abomination version. So we do have that here. Big old horns howling up like that. It is a sculpted inside of the mouth. I appreciate that. The fingers all look great. That broken chain looks cool. Just a cool looking guy. Again, big old head though. My goodness, that is a big head. Alright, now we got this here, which is just super fun. Just some, some nice decorations, some nice background stuff. The rope looks fantastic. I don't know if they're supposed to be straight. I can always, make them straight. Same with this. It's a little bent. Maybe it's supposed to be that way, maybe not. Again, hot water can do that. Fix that pretty easily. Love all the stuff on the ground though here. And again, that wood texture everywhere, even on the bottom, looks great. So I do really dig that. That being said, this side right here, completely smooth. Completely, utterly smooth. And all that is unfortunate. I don't know what they're getting that's this smooth, but they shouldn't have it. Whatever that is. Okay, last little bit here. Guys, come on. I like his little hands. I'm glad he kept his hands. It's kind of his legs too. Everything else though, this like giant heart is just amazing with the valves and everything like that. Super cool design. Super cool. I dig that. I mean, just gross stuff. So this is very similar, but this one has a little stinger there. Again, just a little bit of variety when it comes to the types of enemies that you're fighting. Here's another one. This one's fun. Got like a suction cup heavy like a thing going on here. This simply here, I think works. It's fine. I think that's the smartest place to put it. That's perhaps a little bit of a big lip here that makes it slightly obvious, but only slightly, and that also helps hide it as well. This texture inside here looks great. And guys, the final mini. Dear Lord, this was a lot. That eye looks fantastic. Look at that slit there, my goodness. And then the nasty like inlay inside the mouth here, the framing of the tentacles, all the other different eyes on here are not textured like that. That's fine. Got the little pieces in here. Oh, that looks crazy. That is the final mini. Whew. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. It was quite long, but I had a lot of fun. I think this was an enjoyable time to go through, looking at some minis in a design that we don't, I think, all the time see. If you have any questions, of course, about anything, though, obviously feel free to comment down below and ask me about them. I'm happy to share my opinion on just about everything, like how to put in these guys, right? That's opinion-based, isn't it? This guy here, guys, again, they have to go in like a very specific way. It just does not work. There we are. There we go. All right, with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.